Hello and welcome to the Inbetween podcast. I'm your usual host Joe Swan Race, and I'm joined here by Tony.
Tony
T.
That's me. I'm here.
That's me.
I'm back.
Hello.
From the wedding. Sorry we're late.
Wait, you were at a wedding?
That's why we're doing it today.
I didn't know you were. You just said I'm busy on the weekend.
Yeah. I think I was in a rush because
Who got married?
Reese.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I got home at
I remember you telling me about.
I got home at 2:45.
In the morning. Were you partying hard?
No, I went on to 1. Well, it went on to half midnight. Then I had to pack away. I was there at 9 as well, or half 9 I think.
So you're gonna be partying hard for Andy's birthday?
Yeah. 100%.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We talk about gaming and everything in between. And,
Apart from last week or 2 weeks ago.
So talking about last week's episode.
Oh yeah, we got coffee shop 4 times.
People always don't make memes on YouTube because you're just gonna get copy struck a million times. We did a meme extravaganza fucking show, and I've never been copy struck so many times in my life.
Who actually did it? What did we actually? I don't understand.
I don't fucking know. It was a various different faceless groups.
I swear 2 of them was erroneous, and 2 of them I could understand, but still, why? I don't know.
They were all just we're claiming monetization on this video. I'm like,
yeah, good luck,
mate. Good luck on that one.
It's like on Jim's videos, he deadlocks them to oh, I'm gonna claim monetary. No,
the
money.
Nintendo deadlock is dead, I think. Since Nintendo gave up their policies.
He still uses the chains of love and someone else now.
Because then they deadlock each other out of the revenue.
Neither of them can claim that because they both try and claim the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that they both fail to claim the whole thing.
Well, because 2 different entities are we own all this content.
Yeah, we own this entire video. No, we own this entire video, which is stupid. You should only own what you fucking said you own. But sure, that's a rant for another time.
Okay,
not for this show.
Going to what we've been playing this week. I was playing not yesterday, it's Saturday. 2 days ago, I was playing Budget Cuts. I remember this house. Here's a VR setup, and this is the first time I've played the actual game since the demo came out.
A fantastic demo.
Yeah, I gotta say it was a lot of fun. I think they said there was about 5 levels. I was just playing the first one. So the first one starts out, you're in an office, and then you get a pager, and it's got a number on it. And you call it, and this person says they're gonna get rid of you. You need to do this, and then that's when it starts the espionage sort of thing.
He's got a gun.
There's it's pretty cool. I like the atmosphere now. Originally, it was literally just you and these robots, but now you're actually in an office, and there's lots of just worker robots who are oh, I'm just here, doing my job.
Yeah.
And you're just throwing knives at these robots, and these guys are oh, hello, how are you?
Yeah, it looks better. And the robot's a little bit different from the demo as well.
What's that? Oh, is the beginning's very much like Job Simulator.
Yes.
Where you have all these robots hello, we are going to do one of the human tasks to see what it was like. Because I think you're the only human in the thing, and humans keep mysteriously disappearing at this workplace. Yeah, it was really fun. The core mechanics are still there. You still have a portal gun. This is actually the part where I stopped playing. I was playing for a couple of hours.
Oh right, a couple of hours to get to this point.
In the first level, yeah, it depends. There's now a difficulty slider as well, which there wasn't in the original game. Hello, Martin, in the chat.
94 years old. Wow.
Yeah, he's 94 years old.
Wow.
So there's a difficulty slider now. I asked my brother what he thought. He said he played it on normal, so I put it on normal as well, and that seemed to be pretty good. Because there was a hard mode.
Oh really?
And I don't know how the difficulty affects it. What I'm guessing is because there's checkpoints throughout it. So I'm guessing the harder mode probably has less checkpoints.
Well, the detection ranges, I assume, as well. More smarter robots.
You can take two gunshots, I think. Right. So maybe you can only take 1 in the hard difficulty mode.
I would assume, less checkpoints, more observant AI, and then less hits you can take.
But yeah, you get called on this phone. They go, "There's a key under your pot," and you open this briefcase. And it's funny because it's it has a really good sense of humor because it's it's all these robots and it's gone, but then it's incredibly tense, and you juxtapose position between
It's a juxtaposition. I don't know what how you use it as a verb.
Juxtapose.
I think it's juxtapose or juxtasuppose. I don't know. Suppose
between like you're like teleporting across, throwing knives around dodgy robots, and then you just see this worker robot like, oh hello, when did you get in here? Like, it's pretty funny. Definitely like one of the best VR games of 2018. I voted for it on my VR games of 2018.
I think if Beat Saber wasn't around, I probably would have voted for this. 100%. Because like I love the teleporting is so good. Like you can use it like as like okay, you can use it like to like see and then teleport.
When it comes to like throwing the knives at the robot, I found it kind of hard to aim because I'm not used to throwing things.
Yeah, I'm really bad at aiming.
So what I would normally do is I just like teleport behind them and then just like stab them with the knife.
Yeah, I love the oil coming out. That wasn't in the demo, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember any like oily substance.
Because there is like a they do have like a hitbox, so hitting them in the leg will make them like shoot out oil.
Yeah. And
they won't die, and they'll like try and shoot you. But if you hit them in the eye, like the head area, then that'll be like a kill sort of thing.
Yeah, like a one hit.
There's like skill to like where you hit the robots and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'd say anyone who has a VR headset, definitely check out Budget Cuts.
Well, it's only like £23.
I bought it for my brother in the sale. So I think it was £11.49.
Oh wow, that's really good. Yeah.
On sale.
Yeah. I think definitely.
I got it for him for Christmas, and I sent it to him, and he said, "You're buying this so you can play it." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm buying this so I can play it." That was my reason. But he said he's been playing it a lot, and he said after a certain point it gets really dark.
Oh really? Okay.
And he said he couldn't play anymore because it was too spooky.
Too spooky.
Because they like turn all the lights off in the office, and you're trying to like dodge these robots.
You've got like a flashlight or something, or you got use environmental lights or something.
Oh no! I can get the VR Essential bundles for £130.
Oh,
nice!
Cheap as chips.
What a deal! I'm sure that's probably a lot cheaper in a sale, but that's a lot of money. The VR is still super expensive, and we'll talk about. I was talking to my brother about CES and showing off the new Vive Pro.
Yeah.
And the Vive Cosmos.
What's that ultra wide one called? I saw Linus check it out. I don't think I saw any other coverage of it.
There's the 8K headset.
Yeah, which isn't really 8K, but whatever.
I think it's like 4K in each eye, right?
I thought it wasn't quite. It was super sampling upwards.
I'm not sure. To be honest with you, I don't know. I think the Vive Pro is 1440p in each eye.
Yeah. I think to be honest, like it's like slightly higher than that, but it's super sampling up to 4K in each eye.
Okay.
Which is why like Linus had a problem with the naming scheme.
I heard the game was I kept saying Budget Cuts is coming out, and it kept delayed throughout 2018, and then eventually came out. And I think it was kind of buggy when it came out, but I think they fixed a lot of the issues.
Yeah, there's some like
I
remember
people seem to really like it.
Yeah, I remember people moaning about like motion sickness and control issues with the VR stuff, but then they could see a good game behind it. Yeah,
I would have played it like more, but I remember my brother's quite late, and I also was like, I need to stop rolling around on the floor, and I need to drink some water.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm gonna put this thing over my screen. I'm like, why? It's like, you're gonna hit my screen probably. Like you're gonna be rolling around throwing stuff. Like it does. You can completely get into that headset where you're like, I'm a secret agent.
Yeah.
I'll roll around the floor.
Well, I remember when I was playing, I was like ducking behind something that wasn't there and tried to lean on it, and I was like, oh no, that I'm not actually in the world. I'm not here.
But so one thing before we go off this, there's now collectibles in the game. I didn't
like hidden collectibles.
Yeah, so like I pull open a vent and I went in this small room and I found like this crow.
Oh.
And that gives you like an achievement, and there's collectibles all around the level. So there's like
right.
There's so even though it's only 5 levels, it's quite difficult to get through. There's additional difficulty if you want to go back and play it again, and there's also collectibles to go around and collect as well if you want to replay it again. So there's definitely like a lot of replayability in the game now that it's a full release.
Yeah,
so it does seem like a good deal.
I think even if you play it just through once, the price point is pretty damn good. So for me personally, that is.
Yeah. I've gone to the next game I played. I played Pummel Party recently. It was a game I got in the winter sale.
That's like the
It's like the Mario Party game.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
It looks pretty good.
I remember the first game. We were playing with my friend Andy, and Andy won. And I said the number one rule of free for all is you have to gang up on Andy so we can destroy him. And the second game, I won.
Yeah, that's generally what happens with our group of friends.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. Like the rounds are quite good because you can control how long you want the game to be. So what you have to do is you have to collect these keys in order to unlock chests. And then when you get, and they have goblets inside, and when you get a certain amount of goblets, you win.
Oh, okay.
And the way you get keys is by winning mini games, and then winning the mini game lets you roll first, and you also get a item. You can use like a rocket that'll send you forward 10 spaces towards the chest. So it's pretty fun. Like, definitely recommend if you have a couple of other friends to play with. Definitely pick this game up with them in a sale. They still adding content. Like they've added Halloween maps. They've got and some Halloween mini games, and they added like a Christmas map for the winter update. There's so there's these death squares, and when you land on them, you control them.
Right.
So they'll change to your colour. So if you're blue, they'll turn to blue, and then the Grim Reaper comes along and goes, "What do you want, blood or keys?" And then whenever somebody else lands on these things, he can either attack them, which if they lose all their health, they go to the graveyard, which puts them the furthest away from the chest, or you can take their keys and he'll give them to you. So it's kind of like a strategical thing, depending on what you want to do with the board. It's actually kind of like, well, it's kind of like Mario Party, but it's kind of like a big board game in a lot of ways. And the mini games are really fun as well. So
is that an eggplant?
Yep, there's an eggplant explosive.
Aubergine? Is that what eggplants are?
I found that some mini games were better with a controller and some were better with a keyboard and mouse. So I just switched between the two while I was playing. So I was like, oh, it's a shooting game, keyboard and mouse. Oh, it's like a platforming game. I'm gonna go to my keyboard.
Yeah.
I hate this one. I'm terrible at that perspective of driving.
Yeah, I can't do that either.
You know, when it's like the top-down perspective, you need to try and navigate with it.
I don't know how anyone can drive like that. It's like Scale Electric.
Andy kept winning because he's an expert driver. So GG. But yeah, this is one of the multiplayer games I picked up in the winter sale. Really fun. Highly recommend it. Saw it after seeing people streaming it on Twitch.
It looks fantastic. So
I'll go on to the next. Oh, this is another party game I've been playing recently. Jackbox. So recently I figured out that you can actually stream an app through Discord, like a screen share, and it will share the sound as well.
Yes.
Without having to do any additional setup. And I tested it with you, and it didn't work too well. And I was like, maybe it's your internet.
Yeah, that was.
But then I used it with like Andy and Dave, and I streamed it to him, and it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And he streamed it to us, and it worked perfectly. So I think it was your internet.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think it was Discord. So, and I said, Andy, it's only in 720p. You need to get Nitro so I can up the quality.
That's fair. I might actually get Nitro for Discord though.
I wish I had it.
Because I keep spamming my I've got like a Sips GIF as like an emoticon. And
I'll just quickly go through the games we found the most fun on Jackbox 3. Trivia Murder Party is pretty good. Basically, you have to answer questions, and then if you get them wrong, then you have to play a mini game to not die. And then even if you die at the end, you can come back. So the last person alive tries to escape.
Yeah.
And they answer questions, but if the ghost gets them right, they get closer and closer to the person that's alive, and they can take over their body, and then they're in the position to try and escape, while the other ghosts try and get towards them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My favourite game,
sounds cool.
I think, from the third one, was Guespionage. And Guespionage is, they ask a statistic, and it says what percentage of people have intentionally slammed into someone they didn't know in a bumper car. And you have to guess how many you think, one person, and everyone guesses whether they think it's higher or lower. You get points based on how close you are, and then everyone else gets points if it was higher or lower.
Yeah.
That's quite good. So it's like you're just trying to guess stats, basically, and it's in a fun way. Good. There's one where you design T-shirts. So you draw pictures, then you write phrases, and people have to try and your opponents put them together to try and make the best T-shirt design.
Yeah.
Faking it we couldn't play. So faking it, I think you need to be in the same room as the other person.
Right.
As what Andy said, because his girlfriend Katie also owns Jackbox Party 3. Quiplash, of course. Everyone loves Quiplash. If you've ever watched someone playing Jackbox on Twitch, everyone loves Quiplash. It's like Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
You come up with a funny phrase to a prompt, and the funniest one wins. Quiplash is really fun. I think that's about it for number 3. Yeah. Because I put number 3. We played the first one. I think people know about the first one. The first Jackbox will be free on Epic Games in a couple of days. So watch out for that if you're interested in playing Jackbox with your friends. We played number 4. I'd say my favourite Jackbox game out of all of the Jackboxes has to be Monster Seeking Monster. It's probably the best designed game I think they have in their whole collection.
Right.
It's like a monster dating game, and you all send each other. You all get like a certain amount of messages, so you have like 4 messages every round. And what you have to do is you have to try and get someone to date you each round to get a heart. And if you both agree to date each other, you get a heart. But the thing is, all of you are monsters in disguise. So each of you has a secret power that you don't know about. So someone could be a werewolf.
Yeah.
So they get like, so I was a werewolf yesterday, so I got double hearts every time I dated someone on a full moon. If I got rejected on a full moon, I would lose half a heart.
Oh, right, okay.
But then, like, for example, Dave was the invisible man, so he always appeared. He started with 3 bonus hearts, but he always appears as if he's in last place.
Oh, okay.
So that's like his bonus. And at the end of each round, the person in first place gets revealed, so you know what their power is.
Okay.
So it's kind of like an interesting strategy game. It's really fun.
Seems the most in-depth out of all of them.
Yeah, it is for sure. That's why I think I like it. It's more like a board game or like a card game.
Yeah, it's just like a hidden roles, like card board game. Sounds really cool.
I found I was really good. Fibbage 3. So Fibbage is kind of like a quiz game. They do this a lot they have a lot of Fibbage games. Basically, they ask you a question. Then you have to think what a good lie would be.
Right.
That people would think it was.
Yeah.
And to try and trick people, then you have to try and pick the actual answer through everyone's lies.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of like an interesting spin on a quiz game. Anything else worth... Survive the Internet's kind of like Quiplash, but you have to like make people's media posts look like they said something stupid. And then we played number 5 as well. I'd see if there's any games I really liked on here, and then we'll move on to the next topic. There's You Don't Know Jack. I'm not a big fan of You Don't Know Jack, to be honest with you, because it's the questions are very cryptic.
Yeah, I don't like this one.
Split the Room was interesting, but I don't think it was very good. I think this is a really weak pack.
I didn't like pack 5.
There's one game that is exceptional though, and it's this. It's the Madverse City is the exceptional game from this, and it gives you like write down a noun and then you write it down, and you have to come up with your own rap verses.
Toy.
I was this absolute unit on the rapping one. And I lost the first one, and I was pissed off, and I was like, right, you know what? We're not going to be friends after this. I'm going to diss you so hard. We won't be friends anymore. Track. Yeah. But I really like the creativeness. You have to, like, rhyme words. Oh! Patently is really good as well. Sorry. This is, so I'd say two of the games are worth playing. Patently, we had a lot of fun, because you have to pick a prompt, or everyone writes... They get a prompt like, I really hate it when, and then they write something down to like, I really hate it when I run out of toothpaste. And then someone has to draw a solution to that idea, right?
Okay.
Then you have to give it a name and a slogan. And then you get to... So I think if you were not playing with your friends, it would just present it. It'd be like, this is your idea, this is what it's called, this tagline, but you also have the option to present it yourself, which is pretty funny. So you control how it comes out, and you like talk through. It's like, so this is my idea. And one of my ideas was like chicken drumstick earplugs.
Okay.
And I was like, this is how it works, you know. And it's like, do I have any questions? It's like, Matt. He's like, yes. This question. When will it be out? I'll be out next quarter. Next question.
You got Peter Molyneux voice out. It's gonna be great. I've got this amazing idea.
I think there's a lot of. I think a lot of these Jackbox games that there's if you've got a group of friends, a lot of fun role playing opportunities, right? Because there are some that are better with people you don't know. There's some that are better with people you do, and then there's some that you can't play unless you're in the same room, sort of thing.
That's a good idea.
Split the room is interesting. This is the last thing. It was basically you have to write something you think where it gives you a prompt and you have to fill in the blank of something that you would think would split people's decisions.
Oh, like Marmite.
Well, like you only have 20 seconds to live. You can stop yourself from dying if you do this. That's a stupid example, but like an example we had was there's a dog. You can only vote if you do blank. Cats. There's a dog that's about to win, so you need to vote.
Okay.
Would you do this sort of thing?
Right. Okay.
Anyway, moving on. What else I've been playing Battlefield 5. There's the new update, the Chapter 2 lightning strikes. The big reveal, basically, as everyone knows, was tractors are coming. Tractors are coming. It's what we've all been waiting for. Tractors confirmed. We did see a roadmap, so they're calling it a live service thing. A lot of companies are trying to move towards this. There's no map packs, which I like, because they would charge for map packs. It could split the community. Everything's being released on like a content roadmap now.
Yeah.
So we've had the practice range, the vehicle cosmetics, the tank battles, Belgium, and then from January to March we're going to get Squad Conquest, which I have actually been playing. It's come out.
Right.
So if you don't know Conquest, you have 300 tickets, and you have it's A to G, I think. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So it's 7 points, 7 flags, depending on the size of the map. Some are a little bit smaller. And you have to try... If you hold the majority of points, you decay tickets from your opponent a lot faster.
Yeah, okay.
But they've made Squad Conquest, which is a much smaller version of that. So instead of having lots of squads, I think it's 32 versus 32 on Conquest. You have 2 squads, so it's 8v8 instead,
okay, so
and then you have a much smaller map. So I think it's Rotterdam, Iran, those sort of maps, and then instead of having 7 flags, you have 3. So it's like a much smaller version of Conquest. They've also announced the return of Rush, which was a popular game mode from previous Battlefield games. They are making a new map. Battlefield Greece will be in March. They're adding Combined Arms, which is like co-op missions, and then eventually at some point, they haven't announced yet, they said they're doing a Battle Royale. So,
yeah. I think they're good they're actually adding stuff. I think the biggest complaint was just there wasn't enough stuff on launch, but it seems they're actually adding the stuff they promised, so pretty good. Pretty good.
But that's what I've been playing, and I also accidentally discovered an Easter egg when I was playing.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing on the field map. Is it Iran? It's the one with the church on it in like the big yellow fields. But basically there's a church and then there's like a gnome next to it. And Dave's like, "Hey, look, there's a gnome here." And I was like, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here, Keemstar." And I just knifed him. And then forever throughout the entire match, there's just the demonic gnome chasing after me. It's a little Easter egg. So if you destroy the gnome on this map, there will be a demonic gnome who just teleports behind you and just keeps following you, and no one else but you can see the gnome. It's just like this eternal fucking haunted gnome that follows you. Do not diss Keemstar. He will come and haunt you.
Little Easter egg, Keemstar Easter egg.
Yep. Next thing, I've been playing a lot of things recently, just because we did a meme show last week, so it's been like a month almost since I talked about everything. Slay the Spire added official mod support, so it's now got a workshop, which is really fucking cool because it's like one of the best games of 2018. And I have actually been playing a little mod called the Slimebound, which is kind of interesting. So what it does is it adds a new character called the Slimebound. And how this character works is you're a slime, and the way it works is you can like split yourself up, so you take a bit of damage, but then you summon these mini slimes.
Okay.
And then they like fight for you and have different effects, like they give you armor and that sort of stuff. There's tons of different builds. It's like an entirely new... It's like almost like a DLC just made through mods, basically. Like
they're actually adding like whole new characters, which is like a whole new gameplay.
There's a really healthy big modding scene for Slay the Spire, so official workshop support just adds so much more life to it.
It's only like a couple of months, if that old, right? This modding scene, it was like a month old.
I think the modding scene's been alive a while, but this is the first time they've added official workshop support.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of like mods for Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
Before it was a pain in the ass to set up, but now it's a lot easier. I've also recently completed Hat in Time, and I played the Seal the Deal DLC, which it's kind of mixed. It got mixed reviews. Kind of mixed from me. It adds 3 new levels and Death Wish difficulty, which basically you go back to previous levels and you have bonus objectives to complete. It's like meant to be a really hard difficulty. The first level was really fun. You get to like go around this giant ship. You get to see all your old like enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. And then after that, it gets a little bit irritating. It's definitely a step up from the base game in terms of difficulty, and definitely a step up in frustration. So the second level, you have to run around and do all these orders for the captain while you're being timed. Not timed, but like he has an anger meter and it goes up and up and up the longer you wait to do something, and it's quite hard. I found
that's still pretty much timed, yeah.
I got really frustrated the first couple of times. I managed to do it on the third time I attempted it.
Reminds me of that sous chef.
It was more
Guild
like
Wars 2.
It was more like you have to figure out how to get around the ship efficiently. The Arctic cruise ship is really cool, and the way they designed it is really cool as well to get around it. It's definitely a DLC worth playing, I would say. If you love Hat in Time like I do, I think it's definitely worth playing. The annoying thing is when the third chapter, you accidentally tilt the ship, so the entire level's on its side.
Right.
But it's not great because it's like they've tried to make it so the ship on its side is the same layout, sort of thing. So it's kind of like some people are saying it was bad level design. I think it's like, and then that entire section as well, you have to like pick up these seals and try and balance them while you're being timed as well. Which can be really annoying. So I think the criticism of this DLC is fine. I think it's still had fun playing it. I think it's still worth playing. And also there is the Death Wish difficulty, which lots of people enjoyed. The Death gives you new missions to do in the previous levels. I think he's called... I don't remember what he's called, like his official name. I don't remember. But also, I was like, well, for the DLC, I played the main. I'm finished with this. But then they added workshop support back in early 2018. So speaking of Slay the Spire mods, I also checked out some Hat in Time mods. This is one I found quite cool. I feel like a lot of the Hat in Time mods were just people recreating like Nintendo levels, because like Hat in Time is like the Mario Odyssey game on PC. What the fuck is my collecting? I did not mean to do that. I hate when this thing pops up. It only pops up on embedded videos, and it's such a pain in the ass. They took away the ability to full screen embedded videos, but you can. You just double click.
Yep. I think you can press F as well.
To pay respects.
So, yeah, I don't know why they did that. That's kind of dumb.
But it's like a mission from Super Mario Bros. Or something. But it's pretty cool. There's like 4 different timepieces to collect. And that was really cool. There's another one. I haven't played through them all. This is just one I played through. And then I'll show you one more. It's called is it Smooth Moves? Someone created WarioWare Smooth Moves in Hat in Time. So if you don't know, WarioWare Smooth Moves was a game for the Wii. Where basically you just did a bunch of mini games on the Wii. So it's like, answer the call, and you pick up the Wiimote and go, hello, how are you? And then it's like, and it would be timed, and they're like, let's step it up, and then it'd do faster and faster and faster. They've just made a bunch of Hat in Time themed mini games you have to do. It's pretty fun. Really, really recommend playing it if you've interested in that sort of thing. But last thing I mentioned before we go off what I've been playing this week, because I've been talking for a while. I got recommended this game in my queue, and I need you to watch the trailer for this game, because I couldn't find any English reviews because it's only supported in China. Can someone tell me what's happening in this? This is a real trailer for a real game on Steam I was given in my queue.
Yeah. I don't know why you were given this, but okay.
I don't know. Well, we'll find out. Watch this trailer.
Can anyone read Chinese? I don't know why. Lots of people can read Chinese, but.
Wait, 就已经有个减速效果了。
they changed the trailer.
拥有手心域的
No! Wait, is there two?
这个时候
There better
可以
be
甩
two
掉
It's like
trailers.
4 trailers.
This was the only trailer. This was the only trailer, like yesterday. This was the official trailer.
I mean, it makes you want to play it.
What's happening?
Does one own the rights to this music? Like,
I just had to fucking show this because I was so fucking confused what this was.
English language not supported. So is this
It's
called,
only in Chinese.
so this is called Notes of Soul, I presume. That's what it says in English. They changed that as well. That wasn't always there.
You can now get Steam in China. But
Yeah.
I there was 0 reviews in English, but there is now, and someone just said saw the trailer and bought the game. I was like, well, it's a great trailer.
Overall, great experience.
Everything, even though everything is in Chinese, but I couldn't play a match, and I only found a single lobby with another player, and you need 6 players to play a match. Rating 10 out of 10 if on sale, but 8 out of 10 on full price. I think this is a meme review because why would you buy a game, have no idea what it was, it's only in China, there's no servers and there's no players, and then say 10 out of 10?
Yeah. We'll never know. It'll be a mystery forever.
Have you been playing
Westerners.
anything this week, Tony? No. Okay.
Not really. Stellaris, maybe.
Stellaris. Okay. I have been talking for 30 minutes about games I've been playing for the past month. But I play lots of games in a month.
I haven't really been doing much for the past month, to be honest. I've been busy doing other stuff, so...
Another thing, what we've been watching, I watched... that's the wrong one. Shrek Retold. And if you haven't seen Shrek Retold, this is the only reason to watch Shrek.
No, there's other ones that are pretty
This
good.
man has one of the most beautiful renditions of Hallelujah I've ever seen. He sings the wrong word, but he just doesn't care. Some beautiful Shrek puppets. So if you don't know, Shrek Retold is 200 animators and creators coming together to remake the entirety of Shrek, one scene at a time. Out of the 200 people, each one of them has made their own scene for the film.
With their own style.
With their own style, there's some animation, there's some claymation, there's some real life scenes. And it was like, if it's a real life scene, you know it's going to be a good one to see someone walk around in Shrek makeup.
That was mine, man.
Because the entire thing's uploaded for free, the whole hour and a half is uploaded for free on YouTube. We watched it in my condo in Tower Unite. I have a theatre condo which can play YouTube videos, so I just put it up on the screen in the theatre and we watched it. And it was pretty cool. I found in the beginning it was a little slow. The quality of each scene really varies because of how, everyone was just said, do whatever, and we'll put it together.
I think that, to me, that's part of the charm, but yeah.
So I'd definitely say watch this with friends like I did. Because I don't think most people would sit through the hour and a half. Because I think it can be boring in some
I wouldn't
parts.
watch it by yourself.
Although I didn't like. I thought it got better as it went on, and especially this is one of the last scenes. This made it worth it for me. And seeing this, I was like, this is the greatest video ever. Thank you, Shrek Retold, for this, because this has to be the best rendition of Hallelujah I've ever heard. Moving on. So literally Saturday, I watched Solo, the Star Wars story. They just added it to the streaming service owned by Sky, Now TV. And I was like, well, fuck it, dude, I'll watch it. I always watch the Star Wars things and talk shit on them, so
I haven't
I'm going to watch
it yet,
this.
So
I liked it. It was actually a good film.
Have you watched the Red Letter Media Half in a Bag on it? Because they said they liked it, they hated the cinematography of it.
Okay, my main complaint with the film would be it was too long. It was like 2 hours long.
So the main complaint of Half in the Bag was it was too dark. Like the lighting was awful, and it was slightly too long.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And I didn't care about Darth Maul. I personally
Darth Maul was at the end just randomly. I don't know why.
Well, he is. You have to. Yeah, it's for the people who like watch everything about. Like I know why Darth Maul's there, but at the same time he shouldn't be there. You know, it's pointless.
Okay.
Is that a spoiler? Does anyone care?
That Darth Maul is a hologram at the end of the film, and
the red lightsaber. And it was a blue hologram.
I saw him and I was like, oh, that's Darth Maul. And I was like, wait, is that Darth Maul? How old is Darth Maul? Because he must be what?
Yeah, he's pretty old at that point.
He has to be like 80, at least. This is like 80 years before Darth Maul. Because each Star Wars film is like 40 years, isn't it?
Well, no, but this is quite a way. This is like during the when would this be actually?
And also, mini spoiler alert, so don't listen if you're.
So this is
film. They kind of suggest that Han Solo started the rebellion of the galaxy.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen it, but I've heard something along those lines. Okay.
And then they're like, "Hey, do you want to join the rebellion?" And he's like, "Nah, I'm just a smuggler."
Yeah,
walk away. Maybe in the and then they're like, "Well, maybe." In the future, he'll join the rebellion. Wink, wink.
Considering I have not watched any of these, I haven't.
It was a little on the nose.
Yeah, my problem would probably be the same as probably with Rogue One. It's a very good film. It's kind of the Rogue One is like disjointed, but if it wasn't disjointed, it's very good. But I hate the tying of the ribbon right at the end of Rogue One, which makes it really shit.
It also has the prequel problem where I go, this character's not in the new Star Wars film.
Yeah,
something's going to happen to them.
Yeah,
they're not safe. I've never seen this guy before. Well, he's not going to be a returning character. It's got the prequel of the pre-knowledge.
You have to write prequels very differently than a normal film because you know some of the ending already.
The first half was actually really entertaining.
Yeah,
like the part where he's like fighting the war. He joins the Empire because he wants to be a pilot. So he's like fighting, and there's like a heist sequence which is really cool. So yeah, I was actually surprisingly very entertained while watching this movie. It's like it's a decent sci-fi film, and it happens to have some Star Wars. They didn't try and shove Star Wars down your throat too much. There's definitely like, here's the Empire, here's TIE fighters, that sort of thing.
It's just kind of like the backdrop is what I heard. Like it was like a Star Wars backdrop, and then this was like a small story happening in the same universe, which is what I wanted from these side stories.
They managed to do that while having a Han Solo film.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
How did you feel about whatchamacallit playing whatever his name is? Yeah, that guy. I can never remember.
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, and the
Childish Gambino, Donald Glover.
Yeah. How did you feel? Because
I didn't like his accent.
No.
It was very strange.
Yeah.
Yes. Han
I think
Solo.
he was trying too hard from the clips I've seen. But
this is my ship, the Millennium Falcon. It was a very strange accent, and it really threw me off.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think he's trying to get as close to the original Lando's accent.
But I think he's just trying too hard. Where it's like it's like Uncanny Valley almost, where it's like trying to be the original.
Because like the Han Solo in this, he isn't talking in like a husky voice like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, doesn't like Harrison Ford at all. And Chewie, he sounds completely different as well. And I can see they've got a new actor in for him. So
I think Woody Harrelson, is that his name?
Yes.
I really liked his character. He was really good in this film. He was one of the best characters, in my opinion.
I think that's probably correct.
You can't say because you haven't seen the film yet.
No, but I've seen from other people. I think that's an agreed upon opinion. Okay. I think you're allowed to have that opinion.
But yeah, Solo. I would recommend this film. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Dave, did you see this film? Is that what you're saying you liked? Because I actually really like this.
You don't need to apologise.
Out of all of the new Star Wars films, this is the one I would say go and see.
I would say see Rogue One as well.
I think this is better than Rogue One.
Yeah, this looks better than Rogue One. Again, I haven't seen it, but it looks better than Rogue One.
You know, but Solo didn't do very well at the box office.
No, it's because people hated the 8th film so much. They went, I'm not going to see another one.
I thought this came out before the 8th film.
No, came after. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The 8th film came out 2017 December. This came out like March 2018.
Okay.
It was like very early, like very quick afterwards.
Some of the things, it was like one of the things I found I didn't like a lot was there was double cross. There was always going to be double crossing, right? But it got to a point where people were like triple or quadruple crossing.
Yeah.
I was like, this is getting kind of ridiculous. But then I was like, well, you know what? I'll give it to him. It's a pretty good film. So the final thing I'll talk about before we actually talk about any news topics, 40 minutes in, is I watched Bandersnatch, the Black Mirror Netflix episode where you get to control what happens.
Control, inverted commas.
Which
is the whole point of the thing, by the way.
So you asked me, is it kind of like a Telltale game? I was like, yeah, it gives you the illusion of choice. So yeah, it's kind of like a Telltale game. Basically, the whole idea is you're a programmer, or you're controlling someone who's a programmer who is making a game. It's kind of meta. He's making a game that was designed by a writer who's like, we're being mind controlled, we have no choice, sort of thing. And then you realize that you're being mind controlled, and the whole idea is that no matter what you do, you're kind of pushed down a certain path. And
yeah, there's very few options that actually leads to something different.
So the whole idea that you don't really have a choice is kind of tied back into the story. I don't want to say too much because it kind of gives it away, but I found I enjoyed it. There's a couple of jump scares in here if you don't like that sort of thing. I think one may be non-optional and another one is optional if you know where it is. But other than that, I didn't go to sleep that night, but the other nights I was okay. I would actually like it if it had that sort of thing. When people are like, oh, this thing is kind of scary. Like,
if jump scares
when stuff has like 15 or an 18, you're like, it's like, well, it's got blood in it. I'm like, well, I don't really care about blood. But if it was like, it has a couple jump scares, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe, that sort of stuff would be useful. This character's also awesome. I really liked him. And he basically, not to give too much away, but he basically kind of knows that he's inside a Netflix show.
Okay.
So he could potentially come back in other Black Mirror episodes. Because he's pretty much like, oh, I quite like this life. I'll be back in another episode. I don't really care.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's another good Charlie Brooker one.
I love Black Mirror, so yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on. Quick news. Soulja Boy is building an eSports team. Soulja Boy was nominated for our meme of 2018.
Living meme.
His living meme status is carrying on as he starts a Soulja.
Does he know how to spell?
And what I want to ask Soulja Boy, he said he's looking for Overwatch, Fortnite, Smash, CSGO, Gears of War, and other games for his esports teams. I'm wondering...
How's Gears of War's working?
Sorry?
How's the Gears of War working?
There's a Gears of War esports scene.
Okay.
There is definitely one. It's a popular game. But I'm wondering, will all his players play on the Soulja Boy, the official console of Soulja Boy? No, I want to see a Soulja Boy. I want to see a Soulja Boy World Cup where everyone plays on the Soulja Boy.
I think there's been a cease and desist from Nintendo on that front, but other than that,
Soulja Boy is really pushing for himself to be meme of 2019 now. Like he's edging up.
He's been trolling some like artists as well. So like musical artists. I don't want to.
Okay, quick news. THQ Nordic acquired the Outcast IP. I don't know what that is, but they've got it.
Isn't Outcast?
They're the band who do Hey Ya, Uh-Oh.
Yeah.
Hey Ya. Catherine Classic came out. There's another fantastic Sega port. We've got 4K unlocked frame rate.
I'm actually surprised by the resolution. That's
well, Bayonetta and Vanquish both came out 4K unlocked frame rate.
Yeah, it's
Sega again, just randomly releasing fantastic.
Who's porting these? Do we know who's porting?
I don't know if it's the companies because they're different companies that are the developers. But I think Sega's definitely pushing for more Sega games on PC,
like high quality ports as well.
They've said they want more like this. They want more Sega games ported onto PC. Well, they're definitely pushing for this.
It's the only way they're going to make money. So,
and the way they advertised this was actually quite interesting. They went into the Steam database and they said, "Get ready for something sexy on PC." Catherine Classic teaser today.
So if you're one of those old school people that read databases to get your news, then you obviously saw this.
This is the
first.
first time I've ever seen someone use the Steam database to advertise a game coming out on Steam.
I'm glad Steam Database told us this. Well, who is Steam Database?
They're not affiliated with Valve.
No, but I assume they look for the Steam database.
They look through the Steam database, yeah.
Okay. To find like data mines and things.
Yep. Okay, next piece of quick news. Resident Evil 2 one-shot demo is out. The game will be coming out on Friday the 25th, which is the end of this week. We will have a spotlight up on Thursday, a day before, if you want to check that out, before the game comes out. I just thought I'd tell you this. This game, the demo will only be available until the end of January. So it won't be available once the full game comes out, basically.
Yeah.
So if you want to play this, play it now or watch our spotlight, which will be coming out this week.
People seem to like it though, and I've seen quite a bit of it.
I've been trying not to watch too much about it because I want to experience it.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen spoilers. I've been watching people review it and not try and spoil it, and it looks pretty damn good.
Second Dinner, Ben Brode's new company has raised $30 million with NetEase, the Chinese mobile company who are working on Diablo Immortal, and they've also invested in a bunch of other games here and there, and they've partnered with Marvel Studios to make a Marvel game. So Ben Brode from Blizzard has got $30 million from NetEase and is making a Marvel game. So yeah, we live on this timeline with his new company, Second Dinner, the meme timeline.
Okay.
Black Ops 4 Blackout has a free trial now. So from January 17th to the 24th, which is Thursday this week if you're watching live, which is a week trial, you'll be available to play. I have downloaded this, so I will play this before Thursday, and I will report back on what my thoughts on Blackout Battle Royale
after.
Yeah, on the next podcast.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do special news announcements stream.
I think you probably should.
My special Roblox stream to announce what I thought of it. Oh, okay. Dave said, I heard Sega are teaming up with Soulja Boy # back in the console game.
Oh. I don't think,
that would be the dream.
I don't think Sega were complicit in that team up.
The Sega Soulja Boy.
That could be I think Soulja Boy were just stealing Sega titles, not that there was
we got some more details about the Epic Games Store. They're working on a review system for the Epic Games Store. Currently, they don't have one, which is a big red flag.
Yeah.
Because
and it's an opt-in thing as well.
It will be opt-in, so you can choose not to have reviews on your game, which is kind of sketchy, which kind of worries me. Epic themselves actually invested in Hades, and they promised certain sale numbers.
And if not, they would make up for it?
For games that would be made off if they didn't reach it, yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
They're really trying to push people to put things onto the Epic Store, even going as far as investing in new game titles and giving certain promised sales numbers to get them on the platform.
I guess for them, it's kind of small numbers considering how much they've made already, but it's still kind of crazy though.
They also what was it about the Epic Games Store I was going to say? Oh, yeah. I'll talk about it later, actually. I'll talk about it soon. Next topic. They added itemized glider redeploy to Fortnite. So they had glider redeploy in Fortnite, so every time you jumped out, you could glide down. But then they turn it to an item, which takes up an inventory slot. Right. I think it's terrible, because you only get 10 charges, and it takes up an inventory slot. The most fun I had in Fortnite was when glider redeploy was in the game, and you can instantly just jump everywhere and glide.
Yeah.
And it was really quick and really fun. It kind of split the community. 50% of people wanted it, 50% of people didn't, and it was a big clash. People were like, why the fuck are you testing out updates on live servers? Why don't you have a public test run? One of those things, they're like, every time there's a new update, we instantly put it on the servers. So every week there's something new, and there's not enough time to test this stuff out with the community and the player base to go, is this a good idea? They just put it straight into the game. Because speaking of that, I wasn't going to say that, but the Orange Shirt Kid's mother has sued Epic Games over the Fortnite Orange Justice emote. Loads of dancers have been suing Fortnite after their dances have been put into Fortnite.
I'm not sure. Like, this one's especially weird because, like, it was in the competition, so you kind of, like, assume you're giving them the rights to be in it. So I don't
There's
think
like so
they're
many
going to
people,
win.
like
The flossing guy did it.
The Backhand Kids legal team suing Fortnite for his emote. Who else was it? There's a bunch of people who are like, Fortnite's making a lot of money. I want some of this money.
Yeah.
It kind of comes into question, how much copyright can you put on a dance?
Yeah, so I mean, like, do you own a dance? Has that ever been a thing?
I think PewDiePie was saying, like, the Backpack Kids dance was, it was from another video anyway.
Yeah.
Not to say that he took it from that video, but it's like, someone has done that dance before.
Yeah.
And
I bet you can bet your somethings that Epic will find a way to not
Epic
have to pay.
Epic did lose a lawsuit to one of the dancers because it was a dancer herself who had a certain choreograph and had copyrighted that, and they used it in the game without her explicit permission, and she won some money back on that.
I think she got royalties as well.
Oh, so yeah, when I was talking about the glider, and they just added zombies back into the game without like telling anyone. People are pretty pissed off because they're now ice zombies because there's like a big event where this Ice King put snow all over the map, which is kind of cool that these events happen. But then it's like, well, people really fucking hate zombies, and now they're back. And now there's also a snowstorm that comes onto the map, so it like completely destroys everyone's vision. So it's like you're in like thick fog,
right?
Almost. And it's like, well, you could. So two things: you could do a public test server, to test these things, or you can make it so this only affects a certain game mode because it's currently every game mode you have to opt in to zombies and be in complete snowstorm fog.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're thinking.
Carlton motherfucking Banks. Oh, Carlton Banks is suing Fortnite, isn't he? Thanks. Yeah, Carlton Banks is suing Fortnite because they got his dance in there. I forgot about it. That's so funny. Everyone's just like, fuck you, Fortnite. We want those are our dances. We want some of that money. They think they made like 2.4 billion in 2018 or something. Crazy.
That is crazy, yeah.
They made the most money out of any games company. I think League of Legends was down. They made like 1.8 billion or something, like 1.4 billion or something. I saw it, but I don't have it written down. Next one. EA has cancelled their open world Star Wars game.
It sucked.
Yeah. You remember when they had that E3 and they were like showing off Battlefront 2, and then they panned to the crowd and there was someone sitting there and they just went, we're making a open world Star Wars game. And it's
really good. We have nothing to show though.
We have nothing to show, but we're making an open world game. And then they panned away and you didn't hear anything about it. And then now it's been shut down. I think it had a code name. I was reading this earlier.
Yeah.
What was it called? Codename Ragtag. Popular Dead Space was developing its. So Visceral was making one that was codename Ragtag.
Yeah.
And then this one was codename Orca.
They were suspected a lot of the code from the other one was given to these people, but we don't know.
So its codename Orca was very early in development, would include playing as a scoundrel or bounty hunter who would explore various open-world planets and work with different factions across the Star Wars universe.
Which sounds great.
Basically, they said that they're committed to the Star Wars IP in a statement, and they said that they're fully committed to making more Star Wars games. Lots of people recently have pretty much been saying EA should have the Star Wars license removed.
Yeah.
Which
I agree with that.
I like Battlefront 2.
That's fine, they can keep that one.
I like Battlefront 2 now that they've removed all the loot box shit. I think Battlefield with a Star Wars skin is a cool game to play, and that's pretty much what we got with Battlefront 2. But other than that, yeah, definitely. Like, they haven't done anything else.
They've done no good games. To give it to someone else.
When Disney says you fucked up the Star Wars IP, you need to give it up. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to our main topics. So we got Steam development. This is my TLDR from what was said in here. So we got the Steam 2018 year of review. What they said, they're doing store discoverability update in 2019 and beyond.
Yeah.
They're working on a new recommendation engine powered by machine learning. As everything is, the algorithms, the machine learning. We know what games you want.
Machine learning is just more algorithms. Really, you just don't know what they are. It's just more.
That's
algorithms.
the thing. The thing about algorithms is it just keeps repeating the process over and over again until it gets close. But it has no idea what it's doing to get to the right process.
Well, yeah. But to be fair, the machine has no idea what it's doing anyway. It's just a load of mathematics. But the odd thing is with machine learning is you generally start out algorithms that you have like, oh, I think this algorithm will work like this, but then by the end of it, you're like, oh, it's completely different.
So algorithms will.
That's not excited about that at all, but sure, whatever.
They'll be doing more broadcasting and curating features.
I like that part. The curating features need to be updated.
We're getting Steam China. They've officially partnered with Perfect World to bring an official Steam China. Some people don't want this as they're using like a VPN version of Steam.
Yeah.
Because certain features are going to be blocked in the official China version of Steam.
People will still be using VPNs in China. It's fine.
Yeah. Steam library update, which I'm kind of excited for. I think a new library update would be really cool. You can sort your library by certain things.
As long as they don't
and have like tags from the store in your library and stuff like that.
As long as they don't fuck up what I've currently got set up.
But some people are like, I think they're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like how buggy and broken the Steam chat was.
Yeah. The first couple of weeks of that, mine wasn't probably working either, Steam chat. So
a new event system, so they're upgrading the event system. Steam TV. That's their Steam TV. We saw the broadcast of the International last year, their broadcasting service. They said they're expanding it beyond just broadcasting specific tournaments and events in order to support all games. Steam Chat, we're going to ship a new Steam Chat mobile app so you can share your favorite GIFs with your friends. Steam Trust, so the technology between trusted matchmaking. So in CSGO, you'd have to link your phone to your Steam account to get trusted matchmaking. They're going to make that available to everyone, every game on Steam. So similar to VAC, Valve Anti-Cheat, they'll have Steam Trust as well available to all developers who use servers on Steam. So that's a pretty cool idea. So they'll have like more information to spot cheaters.
Yeah. Also, that you get banned on the phone, then you can't use it again. Things. So it's a good idea. It's a good system.
They are going to officially ship a new PC cafe system, so you can have a good experience while using Steam in hundreds of thousands of PC cafes. So I guess
stop spying and things, I presume.
I would say like it'd be similar to like a PC Bang in Korea sort of thing, where you go there and you can just play all Steam games, sort of thing, for a certain amount of money. Okay, we'll move on. So this is the Steam topic. So they're updating the DLC browsing experience on Steam. They're making it easier to find downloadable content for your favorite games. Any game that offers DLC will now have a sortable featured DLC.
Yeah, because that always annoyed me that it was never sortable when I was trying to buy them. Like when I'm trying to find my right DLC in Train Simulator, I find it very difficult to find the one I wanted to buy.
Some games, okay, Rocket League's got 28 DLCs. Train Simulator 2019 has 586 DLCs. So they've given some examples. I can show you, like, this is how the Train Simulator one. So they've sorted it into subsections.
That's nice.
In order for you to be able to easily find through the 500 DLC which ones you want.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Rocket League one, maybe more traditional, just showing off a lot of them because they don't need as many categories because there's not as many DLC. It's a cool idea. I think DLC is definitely something they haven't looked at as hard as the other things, and bringing the Steam Store more features is always going to be better, especially when they have competition like the Epic Game Store. Speaking of the Epic Game Store, Steam now supports social media links, and a lot of people have suggested this is due to the Epic Game Store supporting this, and they might be feeling the pressure from the Epic Game Store because of their huge player base from Fortnite. But now you can show like your company's Twitter page, their Facebook page.
They want to be more interactive. They want to be not interactive, connected with other social media.
I think there was like a bug where somebody was on like the TF2 Steam page and they just linked. The Twitter was just their Twitter page. Some random guys like broke into the system, which is pretty funny. I think it was just like a bug in the system. Move on to the next topic, which is Activision Blizzard. Big news: Activision has given up all publishing rights to Bungie for Destiny. So Destiny will still be on the Battle.net launcher. Everyone who owns it is going to keep it, but all publishing rights for it have now been given back to Destiny, and they're going to keep supporting the game on their own. They have a lot. They said they had a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
But they've put out like a new roadmap of the sort of things they want to do with Destiny 2.
They seem to be on the back of like Activision Blizzard just trying to cut costs.
Yeah.
They seem like one of the big cutting costs by the sounds of it. It's good that
they like laid off their entire support team in Ireland.
They
their
lost
main European support team.
They lost like a CEO and a CFO and CTO as well or something.
Mm-hmm. Mike Moore. So Activision just gave 15 million sweetener to new CFO Dennis Durkin to get him on. It's a 3.7 million sign-on bonus, so it's 3.7 million in cash and then 11 million restricted stock, which is like an incentive to do well because then the stock earns more. Yeah. So it's not they didn't hand him 15 million.
They handed him 3 million.
It's still a lot of money, but when you look at how
it's not as ridiculous as it sounds.
If you look at the headhunting of like top CEOs of companies, people really want a good CEO in their company, sort of thing.
That's naming the big one. So if you're not in becoming a CEO, then I would recommend.
So Mike Morhaime is leaving Blizzard again for good in April because he stepped down as president of Blizzard, but remained as a strategic advisor, and it seems he's either chosen to leave or he's been pushed out. A lot of like big guys at Blizzard seem to have been pushed out by Activision since like they've come along. We've had reports of people being offered their entire salary for the next year in cash to give up their job. Yeah, basically.
That's in Blizzard as well. It's
like this. Activision's just pushing this super aggressive restructuring of their entire Blizzard and Activision staff, trying to cut as many people out in order, and then increasing production of games and increasing revenue.
It sounds like Ben broke out in time because this sounds shit.
It seems when you saw like loads of people leaving Blizzard, and you're like, "Wow, what's going on?" And then all this stuff comes out, and you're like, "Oh, okay."
It also sounds like the people are staying like being pressured by like Activision instead of like them being able to do what they want, which is going to make the Blizzard games a lot, or maybe not a lot worse, but worse, I think.
But also with Activision news, Activision is getting sued by some of its investors under investigation for fraud. Their stock fell 13% after splitting ties with Bungie, and lots of people are not happy about this. I don't know much about stocks or this sort of thing, so I can't speak too much.
I have no idea where this is coming from either. So.
Someone smarter than me could probably explain this, but it's definitely a big thing when you are letting one of your biggest publishing rights go for what seems like nothing.
Yeah, but
and this would seem very suspicious to a lot of shareholders.
I don't think they're gonna find anything because I think it is just like cutting costs. But
because speaking of people getting
this is our main news topic.
Randy Pitchford is what I've called this. Allegedly, someone is accusing Randy Pitchford of a secret $12 million bonus in his lawsuit against Gearbox. And the funniest thing I found was he was claiming that Randy Pitchford had a USB which had porn on it on him, and he left it at the office. I gotta read it because it's so bizarre. It was several hours after publication of the story.
There's a bit down here.
Yeah,
the USB stick.
The day after the lawsuit was filed, Pitchford told his version of the USB stick story. For the first time, he said Pitchford described his enjoyment of camgirl pornography, in which women streams live erotic content, explaining that he had saved a porn video of a camgirl on said memory stick before it was lost. It's a woman who is masturbating, Pitchford said, and when she was some experience that appears as if she's having an orgasm, a huge amount of fluid comes out of her vagina. This is a real quote from Randy Pitchford. What the fuck is going on?
Is this actually a real quote? Like, I'm in a bit of disbelief, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we know Randy, but...
He's Randy. He's Randy Pitchford. This is not a sex worker. This is a fucking magician, he added, saying he would have purchased one of her videos and put it on the USB stick. Some kid in his employee with medieval types discovered this memory stick, took it home and accessed it before it was we were password protecting things and discovered secrets of my company and future games and development. It was discovered the pornography. It was barely legal porn because the guy who did the lawsuit was alleging he had underage porn on the USB stick. This is all alleged, so none of this is confirmed true. I don't want to spread misinformation.
No, yeah.
This is an alleged lawsuit. And Gearbox have responded to this.
Yeah.
Saying that this is untrue. Apparently Randy admitted to having porn on a USB stick at work.
But who doesn't?
Yeah. I don't know. Speaking of shady going on in business, Payday devs were raided by the Swedish authorities on suspicion of insider trading, and one person was arrested. I think what happened was he sold a bunch of stock. Like, one of the original founders he was like, oh shit, this company's going down. Sold all his stock for a bunch of money, and then they were like, oh shit, we need someone to lead the reins, and then took his job back for like a bunch of sign-on bonus sort of thing. And that's like, I think that's, from my limited understanding, that's like big insider trading. Like, sell your stock from a company and then come back on. One person was arrested.
But they haven't been to court yet and things, so...
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Because recently Starbreeze actually filed for bankruptcy. In their Swedish subsidiaries have today filed for reconstruction, which I believe is the Swedish version of bankruptcy.
So like liquidation and like...
Yeah, filing for reconstruction is the Swedish version of bankruptcy.
Right, okay.
So they will liquidate all their assets.
They'll have like
that.
Bankruptcy auctions and things.
Basically, like Starbreeze and the Payday guys, they've had quite a few failures. Like, they tried the Raid World War II, which came out, which was Lion Game Lion under Starbreeze. They're all like Swedish-based companies, I believe, under Starbreeze. And I think they've all like come off of like the Payday guys and gone on to do different things.
But nothing really took off for them to keep making money.
But the big thing was like, we got John Cleese in the trailer, and it's like, well, the game sucks. It's like a shitty World War II Payday. People were already unhappy with Payday after the loot box fiasco. Yeah. So Dave said, sounds like Gearbox needs some lube. Okay. Randy Pitchford. And they recently did the Walking Dead game, which was a big failure and lots of people eyes. It did terribly. Yeah. And they've actually halted the console release of the Overkill, which they thought would help bring in more sales to help with their reconstruction or bankruptcy.
Yeah.
But if you know Payday, you know that they've the terrible Payday ports for the console already. Like the Payday the console versions of Payday are always really broken and like
they don't have
so far behind the current PC version.
They don't they don't keep updates or anything either. They don't. Yeah.
I said don't trust them with console ports because apparently the Switch version is 2 years behind the main game. So they are making a Nintendo Switch port of Payday 2, because the copies of the Nintendo Switch version were leaked early. They were streamed online, and they were using a mixture of assets from older versions of the game, which was a version of the 117 update, which is 2 years old, or 55 updates behind the current version of the game. But they have claimed that the reason the version of the game is so far behind is due to the difficulties with bringing Payday 2 to an entirely new system, and they've also stated that more updates will come to the Nintendo Switch version of the game. It's set to release the Switch version is set to release February 23rd in Europe and February 27th in North America, presumably because they're a Swedish-based company.
Yeah.
They have actually finished the official Payday canon story now. They did the White House raid.
Right.
And then they added like a really long convoluted story where now they kind of cut all they like tied all the loose ends together, and they were like Bane, the guy who did the mission for, he's dying, and then they do this weird ritual thing where they transport his body into the president's body, and then he pardons all the Payday crew.
Right. Okay.
It's like a super secret ending, and they've kind of like canonically ended the Payday story. Because people are hoping for a Payday 3, basically, but
Yeah.
given all this information at this point, I don't think there's going to be a Payday 3.
Unless someone else buys the IP.
Yeah. Like THQ Nordic. Right
right now they're buying all the stocks.
Right next to Sweden.
Yeah.
The Nords.
Yeah. Where is THQ Nordic actually based?
I don't know. I'm going to type HQ. Yeah, there are in Sweden. They're right next to them, then. HQ Nordic is based in Sweden, apparently. So, wait, what's this? Soulja Boy says his console storefront, Soulja Watch, has been hacked. Blames his ex-cameraman. Hang on.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking news. Soulja Boy's console's been hacked by his ex-cameraman. More news at 6.
It's probably not even his. It's probably some Chinese fake.
He was selling an $11.66 Soulja Watch device? Wait, why is he selling all these like shitty, cheap Chinese Android knockoff things?
Because he's insane. Oh.
I don't know. His website has reportedly been hacked and the culprit appears to be a former employee. SoldierWatch.com. If you visit this website, at least at the time of this writing, you'll find nothing but an error page. He took to Twitter to accuse his ex-cameraman. He just said, "Please tell Shopify support to contact me. My ex-cameraman hacked." He's like, "Help Twitter. I need help. I've been hacked."
It sounds like the cameraman was the only one that knew what he was doing with the website.
You remember when, what was it? Kanye West was like, "Invest in me, Facebook."
Oh,
and he made the post on Twitter.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
The Shopify host was quick to respond. A representative offered to DM Soulja Boy. Meanwhile, that despite Soulja Boy calls for help, people on Twitter were largely unsympathetic. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, apparently Soulja Boy said he sold 5 million Soulja Boy consoles in December.
Wow.
Mm.
Biggest selling console
Soulja
of all
Boy
time.
have been facing a rocky launch. Customers are reportedly never getting their orders. Why is it Soulja Boy and these weird Chinese scams?
I don't know.
Well, that was some good breaking news. We need like a breaking news on the soundboard.
Yeah, that
we'll move on to the final news. This came out a little bit more before CES, I think, but we'll talk about some CES news. So Nvidia is to support G-Sync on FreeSync monitors. The monitor I have in front of me is actually the Asus MG278Q, which is one of the supported monitors. So if you don't understand what FreeSync or G-Sync is, G-Sync for Nvidia cards and FreeSync for AMD cards means that it can change the refresh rate of your monitor to match your frame rate. So if you have dips in your frame rate due to performance issues, it can change the frame rate to create a more smooth experience when you're playing the game.
Yeah. And
this is really useful technology. But basically, FreeSync was available on like pretty much every monitor because it seemed to be a lot cheaper to put in, and they were charging like premiums for monitors that had G-Sync. So not a lot of people had G-Sync, but then somebody was like, "Wait a minute!" Somebody like figured out they could get FreeSync to work with Nvidia GPUs, and then it seems like Nvidia's like, "Well, fuck it, we'll just natively support it."
Yeah.
They've tested 400 FreeSync monitors from 60Hz to 1440p.
And these are the 12 that
the
work.
12 monitors made the cut. One of them is my monitor.
Right.
Which is cool. But I think you need a 10 series card in order to use it.
Yeah, I believe 10 series the first time they introduced it.
I have a 970, so I think I'd need a 1060 or higher.
Yeah,
in order to use
believe
it.
that's correct.
The card I was looking at that I was like really interested in was the RTX 2060.
Yeah.
Just to go back, and the Nvidia G-Sync, I think it's going to be available in a driver early this year, the support. So if you have a 10 series card or higher and you have one of the 12 officially supported monitors, you can use G-Sync through your FreeSync monitor.
Did they say Q2, I thought, when that was released?
Let me have a look.
Like Q1 too. Or they just say this year?
They also got like the G-Sync Ultimate thing. Like,
well, the Ultimate thing is the one that's like it's definitely guaranteed to work on. Then like everything else, it might work on. Oh, G-Sync compatible is that? But
people are hoping that the G-Sync monitors will be a lot cheaper now as a result of FreeSync being available. Because like the monitor manufacturers can't up the price. Like, it's got G-Sync. It's like, well, I can just use FreeSync.
Yeah.
Because everyone has Nvidia cards.
But then again, all manufacturers probably switched to FreeSync. So
I don't know. Nvidia, they announced the RTX 2060. So this is like this is the RTX version of the 1060, which is like a budget card for the 10 series. The card looks really good.
But it's priced as a 1070 though, and it has performance equivalent to a 1070.
So it has performance equivalent to a 1070 Ti. I think.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than a 1070 Ti. It seems like...
But it's more expensive than a 1060.
It's better than a 1060.
Yes, it's more expensive than a 1060. Normally, what's not meant to happen is like you go, oh, there's like the 960 to the 1060, but it's about the same price.
Right.
Obviously, the 1060 was way better than the 960, but it was the same price.
I think the bump in price is the RTX cores.
Well, and there's no competition. They have no reason to do it.
AMD has just announced a new card, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, it doesn't fit into the same... Yeah, we're still weighing on like how that turns out. So that and these cards are actually available now, as far as I'm concerned.
You can now buy
AMD's still behind.
The RTX 2060.
Hopefully, when AMD comes out, Nvidia cards will be a little bit cheaper, but who knows at this point.
I'll go on Amazon. I'll tell you how much I think they're selling really fast because these cards are really popular. I think it's a really good deal. It's around like 300 and wait.
Yeah, well, hang on. Okay, one thing I forgot. As Linus said, there's 3 different memory tiers, so make sure you get the right one.
I thought they were all 6 gigabytes.
No.
Really?
There are 3.
It's 6 gigabytes by default, isn't it? It's a 6 gigabyte card.
Yes, but there's 3 different versions. Make sure you get the right one.
What's the...
But look for the one with the highest memory, basically. It's what you want to really go
is what?
for. I can't remember. I think it is the 6.
I don't think it's lower than that, is there?
Yeah, there is.
Well, this is based on the Founder Edition, because other brands are going to change the card around, right? Add more fans, better thermals, that sort of stuff.
And the Chinese ones will have less memory for some reason. But
overclock the things, yeah. But actually, it looks good. I saw there's a Digital Foundry video where they basically tested 1080p RTX lighting.
Well, it was able to do from the tests I saw from like Jay's 2 cents that he managed to get like 1440p medium RTX. Because what everyone seems to forget is RTX isn't on and off. It has settings. Yeah. It's like it's a slider. So he managed to get medium at like 60 or like 65.
Yeah, because you can put more or less aggressive reflections on.
So he had it on medium on 1440p at like 65 FPS on Battlefield 5. So it's actually pretty good.
They found from the testing that textures affected RTX a lot. So if you went from ultra textures to high textures, that had a big impact on performance when you had the RTX reflections on.
Yeah.
But yeah, from the Digital Foundry, what they did was they did 1080p ultra.
Right. Yeah.
Ultra settings with RTX on.
Yeah.
And they found that they could get a stable 60 FPS
That's really good.
Yeah. Because for me, I'm trying to get a stable 60 FPS just from 1440p from a 970 card. So
is that working for you, or is
I have 1440p low, stable 60.
Okay.
It's what I've got it set up on a 970. But if I could upgrade to like a 2016, or there's a rumor they're going to make a 1160, which will be this card but without the RTX cards. So it'll be
the old technology with like the 10 series and things, but it'll be like as powerful as the RTX stuff without the ray tracing.
Which like I'm looking at the 2016 and 1160 these are really good like budget cards for like.
We don't know what it's going to be called yet though. It might be 1160. It might be the 1660.
That's the dream.
Or the 6969.
That's the dream.
There's so many like namings for
some more news from CS I found interesting. We've got a new Vive Pro. So there's a new Vive Pro headset with integrating eye tracking. And what this is going to allow you to do, it will only track what you're looking at. So this is going to massively improve performance for people using the headset, especially if you have a lower end VR system.
Yeah, they're trying to make. I think they want to try and get like small computers at some point as well. Like they're trying to like really like increase
put everything into
performance.
the headset.
Yeah, and that's what they were kind of not maybe not Vive themselves, but HTC, sorry.
Yeah, because we do have to make a distinction now that Valve and HTC are kind of splitting.
Yeah.
Because we now have the Vive reality system, which is like HTC's big departure from SteamVR. They're making their own internal HTC system.
It won't be bound to Steam to be able to get your UI to be able to launch.
Because Steam's developing their own Knuckles controllers, and they've did a big move of their office, and they've got their own hardware factories opening in order to make a bunch more VR technology. Oh, that's the wrong way. So basically, the difference between this and the Vive Pro, there's not a lot of difference in the specs between the two, but the big upgrade is the eye tracking.
Yeah.
As far as we can tell, it's the same resolution. The Vive Pro screen resolution is 1440 times 16,000 per eye. So it is a bit of a bump. I wonder what the original Vive.
That's quite small, isn't it?
What the original one was. Everyone has articles on the
one said it was like almost like 1080, and then it bumped up to like much higher.
Oh yeah, it was 1080 times 1200, so like 1080p, and then it's been bumped up to like 1440p.
Yeah. Which is now people are saying that's the minimum you need for like VR these days.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, because it's you
can see the pixels otherwise.
Yeah, because you're so close to the screens, you need like a very high pixel count. Yeah, this is really cool. I like the idea of the eye tracking technology. I was talking to my brother the day before yesterday. He used to come and talk about VR, and I was talking about him like, oh, there's a new Vive Pro set. He said, I'm still waiting for the Vive 2. You know, I'm still waiting for the next leap.
Because next generation.
Essentially, this is pretty much the Vive Pro with the better screen resolution and the built-in audio strap. And,
it's like the PS4 and PS4 Pro. You don't want to. If you got a PS4, you don't want to get a Pro, aren't you? You're gonna wait for the PS5.
But will Big Chungus be ported onto the PS5 though?
That's the problem. That's the problem.
I want to play Big Chungus on the PS4. But yeah, I don't know if eye tracking is a big enough thing to go, yeah, I'm gonna get another Vive.
It depends on the performance. Like if it massively increases the performance, you can like increase the fidelity of stuff. Then
I think we are still waiting for the big upgrade.
Yeah.
Like my brother we were talking about the Pimax Ultra Wide, the 8K and 5K VR headsets.
I think they're all 5Ks, but sure.
I think they had 5K on the Kickstarter, and everyone who got the 5K order was upgraded to the 8K.
Yeah, but I think the 8Ks are super sampled 5Ks. There's not, the hardware is pretty similar as far as I know.
Yeah, because they replaced the 5K, delivering headsets to Kickstarter backers. Is it 8K because it's got each display is 4K and it adds up to 8K?
Each one. I don't know how that's working.
I don't know much about this headset, to be honest, but I think it works with Steam VR.
I know people don't like the naming scheme because it's not actually 8K.
But we'll move on to the final piece of news. So the Vive Cosmos is another headset that HTC announced. It's going to be a consumer product. So if the Vive and the Vive Pro are meant for enthusiasts, this is more meant to be, a consumer going picking this up, like the Oculus Quest or something like that. The Oculus Go.
What's the PlayStation VR?
PSVR.
Yeah, it's kind of like similar to that, I presume, like pricing wise. And
they said it's not meant to be a Vive successor.
No.
It's a PC-based headset that can kind of have. This is what we know so far. It might connect to phones and stuff because they showed a phone in the trailer.
We don't know why though.
Apparently it's going to have internal tracking instead of using the Lighthouse technology that Valve has been using and the Vive uses.
Yeah.
It's going to have they said it's going to have the best Vive screens that are available because currently the Vive Pro has 2880 times 16,000 or 1440 times 16 per eye.
Yeah.
Apparently it's going to have the best one. Of course we know that they were moving to the Vive reality system. I just really want to see what the future of Steam VR headset looks like.
Yeah.
I want to see the Knuckles controllers. I want to see what
games on there.
Yeah, apparently, because they still have a bunch of VR games in development.
There's still like 3, right?
They showed like a there was like a vlog or something of the Yogscast.
Oh right.
And they were talking. They went to the Valve offices
Yeah.
and they were talking about the games they played on the VR system. It was like beep. It's like, can we say that? It's like, no, we definitely can't talk about that. That's definitely DMCA, that VR game. So they have played something they can't talk about. The Valve. So it seems to be one of the big VR games they're making that we don't know about is in a kind of a playable state. And they said that they, I think it was Lewis and Terps from the Yogscast, and they said when they were at the Steam office, they could play any game on Steam on their system.
Oh my god!
And then they were like, I think they said that they played like some anime booby VR game just to troll them in the office. But yeah, that is the end of the podcast.
Wait, this is the timestamp we all want.
The end of the podcast. Yeah, the timestamp so you can skip to the end, so you don't have to watch it.
This is one for Andy.
Yeah. Okay, so we have been the end Everything in Between podcast. You can check us out on YouTube and Everything in Between. If you're watching this live, it's twitch.tv/Scorn. We stream every 2 weeks. On YouTube as well.
If you're watching us live, you're here. But for those who are not watching this live, you might want to catch us.
We have a spotlight in between each week as a little show to show you cool games that we've seen. The next one that we're coming out will be Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, we have to get out pretty quickly. So.
And as always, follow me at Scorn2000 on Twitter, and I will post when we're going live, and the VODs for Spotlight and the podcast are going up on YouTube. Goodbye.
Bye.